Hey, people. Turtle come to see me this morning. I haven't seen him in a long time. He must not like the water. He only comes when it rains, and I live on the highest part on the top of the hill. Not only did he come up, but he crawled up on my doormat here to get even a little drier. I gave him a choice between some cantaloupe and this wheat bread. Chose the dry wheat bread. So yes, he just don't like water. He ate that half and looked up at me like he wanted more, so I give him another piece, and he hung out for about an hour before he left. You know, when I started this, it was because I wanted to learn how they built the megalithic structures. I googled the world's oldest books, and the Hebrew Bible was the most complete, so I started comparing it to the Greek as I was trying to learn it, and picked up on the Greek, and the Greek helped learn the Hebrew better. And so I was reading about the 12 curses here, about the stones in Jordan, Deuteronomy 27. And they said, we don't know how the hell it got here. It was here when we got here. It was old when we got here. And you can see it in words like, and you shall whitewash them in lime. You know, it's a conicize, you know, a conicize of tuus, Kanya. And the IA reads as a U, and it might read Connie. And the Akani size of tuus, Kanya. And it's the Hebrew word for the priests, you know, the Kanyases, the priest, yeah, of tuus, Kanya. But in the Hebrew, it was date Adam inside. Was date had him inside. Was the date from inside, so they could already tell it had been dated, you know, and they're seeing the limestone that was on the inside. And so this next line, and you shall write upon the stones all the words of the law, this helps with some dating. You know, I could never be sure which Bible come first because it looked like they were back and forth, two different theories, and they were written at the same time. And you can see it here in this word, and you shall write upon the stones. And this is crap, G or C-R-A-P-S. And craps, they, E-Y, they sepet. And craps, they sepet on. So they'll try to tell you that graphite comes from the ancient word for writing, but no, graphite comes from crap. And the first writing was on the wall, and they sepet on. So this is talking about the stones and the crap they sepet on. And that's why when you look at the Hebrew alphabet, you know, it looks like somebody trying to wipe the shit off their finger on the wall. You can even see the little crease on the end of the letters where he's trying to get it out from his fingernail. If you don't get the joke, you'll never be able to read the Bible. But it's the same as the Quran. You know, I started to read it, somebody asked me to look into it, and it didn't take no time at all before I figured out. It was a merchant. He was a traveling merchant, and he traveled around copying stories he was reading off the wall. The craps they sepet on. And you shall write upon. No, the craps they sepet on. So he's making fun of the Hebrew writing. And they'll go back and forth making fun of each other. But, you know, this crap that was rubbed off his finger was the light. And the light on font as. The font, you know, the writings, the fonts. The font is too. You know, so everything has some good and evil in it. You know, the shit is evil, but it can be turned into something beautiful. You can't deny it because half the people in the world, this is the book they base their religion on. Bunch of crap. And so it tells a lot about these stones that they just don't bother to interpret to you. You know, the ego, they say, is I am, but egos are the answers. When somebody asks, you know, who are you? ego is going to be your first 10 answers until you figure out that that's not who you are. And so it says, as the ego, intelli homage. Homage is what you left behind. And intel, a tell is a big tall something in the desert that doesn't belong there. It's a tell. It's telling there's water underneath there or something. Something that gives away when you're playing poker. And intel, and the second L reading is I. Intelli homage, left the behind him in. And so that's what was going on, is they was having to have the biggest, and as his ego, intel, homage, left behind. And then it talks about the 11, 12, or 13 curses, depending on how you read it. And it ends this chapter with the curses. And so it's a debate here. And it's talking as if it's a debate, and the vestige, the impression, the footprint, what we're seeing, the trail behind, the vestige is on debated, the any ordaining. So it's saying, it's debate on how it got there. And it tells different ideas like they don't know, but inside, hidden inside the words of the debate, you're going to see a lot more information. So the story goes, he divides the 12 sons of Israel into 2 groups of 6. And 6 of them get blessed because they allow of in a rage or is in. Allow of, after the E follow, make this a V. And allow of in a rage or is in. What they raging about? This damn economy size, the economy size of Tuascania, and the crap accepted on. Well, that sounds like me. I should be blessed because I ain't accepting the crap. I'm in a rage. And then the rest of them, boy, they got sent to Mount Evil. Evil starts with a G because they were in a rage of evil. And then it goes on through these curses, 11, 12, 13, depending on how you want to read it. And this is a good place to figure out how this reads, because you have most of the words are the same, and it just changes 3 to 8 words per line, but a lot of them are just 3 words different. And that really helps to figure out the meaning of the words that stay the same all the time. The accursed, and shall say all the people allows, the ones that let you get away with the allows. And the curse, it's the Pikato'ratoie as. This is the same curse that the serpent was cursed with after he had ratted out the rat as he told off on God. No, you can eat that, it won't kill you. Just open your eyes. And it's also, this is the word, the curse, somebody who'd be put on a pole or on a cross. Terrible thing you did to get that type of curse. So that would be me. Well, I done ratted them out. So I pulled these first 4 curses off and put them side by side in the Hebrew and the Greek. It makes it a lot easier to figure out some of these words. And you notice in the Hebrew and in the Greek, the first curse is a little different. They change it up here. And all the people shall say, may it be. And down here, the rest of the 12, they'll number it in the way they want you to read it, so to read the same, but it's just not the same, and all the people shall say, may it be. But what it's doing is it's changing the meaning, and this is, the space allows the queen, the regine too. And you see, this is G-E-N, the O-I is the E. And this is the first words God said, and let there be, may it be. And Jeanette, make me tacos. But this is reading with this S, this E-I-S, finishing this word. And they space allows the Regina to, the queen, Regina, the queen. And Jeanette, that's the mother that creates the heavens, the one at the east that's weaving the heavens together. But the 12 curses, And arouse, if as, allows. Allows, is legal. And arouse and awake it, if as, allows. And do it as if it was legal. And then in the Hebrew, you see how they changed it up too. And so here, it's a miracle. And all the people, you get all the people together, and it's a miracle home of men. And with the tack here, it's a M-O-V. The E-F, though, is a V. A move them. And a miracle move them in. Amen, we say, brother. And cursed in the error from fell a hobby, who am a prostitute. From fell a hobby. Not a hubby, but a hobby. And hey, put them to work. We can use them to move the stones. Oh, and a miracle, you're cured. And you see that over here in the Greek. It's all about the cure. The I-O like this, I omega, reads as a E, K-U-R-E, C-U-R-E, cure. It's a cure, urgent, share on, technician. The cure, urgent care. The care, urgent, to share on, technician. So in the Greek here, it looks like it's talking about the Last Supper. And that's why you have the 12 apostles, the 12 curses, after the Pikato'ratoie, the curse to be put on a cross. And over here in the Hebrew, it's cursed is the man who Joseph Slumsky, J-O-S-E-F, Joseph, the carpenter. And the Joseph and Slumsky. A two-bit Jew most hitty. It works of the hands. Oh, Father, that is most hideous. And most hitty chores. Was instruin. Instrumental is in the creation. In instruin. Instruonical. The move a whammer woman, the crying woman, to move the crying woman, Mother Mary and Joseph. But this Joseph here, this is Rhea, the Rhea seps. And the Rhea is a spirit of wood. And so when somebody needs to be reaccepted, they are at that place out there in front where everybody gets tied to the cross. Everybody has their own place for what they have done, and all the R wares, and R where hazes reaccepts, where you take your beating, the reaccepslum ski, that guy doing that Polish guy doing that, and the slum ski, and 2-bit, 2 bits is a quarter. In the quarters, in the Slumsky quarters, the Jew most hitty, the most hitty chores was instruin knuckle, instructions in how to make how it's put together, in the secrets, and shall answer. That's the evil thing you did, instruonical, and the home whammer woman, the home crying woman, or backwards and forwards to move them. The whammer woman, the crying woman, Virgo, the queen, the Regina, the virgin, urging Sharon, the girl who's helping out. She's a Sharon technician, the Sharon technician, and to urge on the cure, to urge on to Sharon, the technician, to teaching, the technit of, the teaching it of. So this, the Pikato'ratoie, this is like, you made your bed, you lay in it, well, this is the food you put on the table, the rat you shot, and a pea, a pawn, and a kata is where the word cater comes from. What's put on the plate? A cat. That's where your word plate, cup all comes from. You see it in all these words for the cat and the vessel, a deep vessel, a bowl, dish, plate. Coming from the Greek, a katol, a cup, a pint, a catalyst, or a catness, a flat dish. Has descendants in every language because everybody used to read the Greek Bible before they created all the other languages. And so that's why you see it at the Last Supper. A lot of the ancient art, you're going to see that they serving up rats at the Last Supper. It's a rat on the plate. Epi, upon, kata, the plate, to cater rat, to serve up the rat. There were several artists that knew this and depicted the Last Supper with a rat and the 6 sons on each side, the 6 sons of Israel on each side. You find this artwork in ancient churches where you is serving up the rat. It doesn't look like no Passover lamb to me. And what you got there is the Passover rat. You know, everybody wearing a little orbit around their head, and showing everybody gets a little piece of the orbit. And you find more ancient art of this rat in Bologna. You know, it was definitely a Greek thing. You know, and Greek was all about shipping. And so, yeah, I guess they would want to eat all the rats. There is some fairly large rats I've seen out there trying to get on the boat. But everybody who's anybody knows that the Last Supper was a rat. So these 6 were put on Mount Evil to get cursed at, and responding, as shall say, the Levites. So it's like a call and response, you know, in a voice great. And a fist at a rat, and upon the plate a rat on their repose, you know, looking back at you on their repose, and a rat on the plate. You made your bed, you made your lunch, now you eat it. What that means, you know, if your Last Supper is a rat on a plate, that means, you know, tomorrow's the day you go up on the cross. And a fist that a rat has on their repose, staring back at you, hostess that serves. A feast they glyphed on, same place where you word clip, C-L-Y-P or C-L-I-P, clip, you know, when you're carving, you're clipping the edges off to get the shape out. But it's a glyph, you know, the hieroglyph, the carvings. And the glyphed on which, the key reading with the S, W-X, W-C-H, which of who it on, you know, a molten image. Now this is the picture on it, the which in the N followed by the E becomes a V, of which of who it on, in delugium, to deceive or dupe. The one being duped. A cure, K-U-R-I-O, rating as a E. A cure, urgent, share on, and teaching it of, and this they, you know, T-H-E-S and E-Y's they, and this they, what we're talking about, and this they ought to in a full crip. This is like encrypt, to encrypt something, K-R-U-F, K-R-U-P. And afo is away, you know, to hide it away. Away, crip, to conceal. And it's also, you know, a fuck, I mean, in a crevice, where you word crevice, anything hidden. You'll see that K-R-Y in there. And, you know, apocrypha, to hide it away, encoded, crip. And a folk, you know, A-P-O means away, and a K, awake, like apocryphy, you know, revelation, awake. And awake writes, they space allows the regine to. The space allows the region to. So Regina, the queen, or the region, you know, is that place, that space. And that was the mother of all creation. Created on the first, you know, created the light, the gene, the Jeanette, to cause, and there was, and the Jeanette, and creation of all the animals, and their gene and their types. The cottagen as to plate the types. And the types meaning, cottagen is full grown stage. What type it's going to be when it's full grown. And out the station upon this cater as the rat you fixin' to eat. The cater as in a rage evil. So we got 6 sons madder than hell. Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. Ain't taking it. So I wanted to put all this in context, so I went back one chapter. And I found some more stuff about Her Highness, for you to be the people of holy, Your Highness, and America. And so that'll be in the next flick, and I'll show y'all some stuff that you didn't know about America. And God's true chosen people, the Cajuns. Cajun is, the excellence of Jacob is the Cajun. John, the excellence, to give excellence, the Cajun. The Cajun Israel. So this is why there is no Greeks or Jews that know how to read the Greek or Hebrew Bible. Only us Cajuns do. Your modern state of Israel has nothing to do with Israel. It's just a bunch of sheep that were sent over there to take over Egypt. They want the Nile Valley. And I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.